is a very special assembly. We have lots of guests. We have a lot of kids in 3rd grade who have worked very hard for this morning assembly. We have people from our community here. Are you ready? Okay. Thank you all for joining us today as we come together to honor and remember the courageous men and women who have served in our nation's armed forces. Today we gather in celebration of Veterans Day, a time set aside to reflect deeply on the sacrifices, dedication, and unwavering bravery of those who have defended the freedoms and ideals we cherish. Veterans Day is not only an opportunity to recognize the selfless commitment of veterans from generations past, but also to express our profound gratitude to those who continue to serve our country with honor and resilience. These remarkable individuals have put themselves on the line, enduring challenges and hardships, all in the name of preserving our nation's peace and security. As we commemorate this special day, let us pause to remember the immense value of their service and the enduring impact they have had on our lives. We thank them not only for their courage, but also for their inspiring devotion to the ideals that make our country strong and free. Today, let us honor and celebrate the lives of our veterans and renew our commitment to supporting them now and in the future. I'm going to pass it off.
Audience, please rise. Color guard, attention. Audience, salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Color guard, halt. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Color guard, post the American flag. Color guard, post the flag of Texas. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of Texas.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
2. Please join me in a moment of silence. Color guard, return to ranks. Color guard, about face. Color guard, retreat.
On November 11th, our nation celebrates Veterans Day. To mark this important holiday, Please honor the men and women from our armed forces.
Each and every day, countless sacrifices are made by the brave men and women in our armed forces to protect the many freedoms that each of us enjoy. Today we salute you.
Today we honor Today we are honored to have veterans among us, and many of you watching may have friends and family that have served or currently serving in the armed forces right now.
On Veterans Day, we honor all who answer to a service call.
Soldiers young and soldiers old.
Veterans are brave men and women.
Fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We are proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, each day we live in freedom. And our must not fade. The reason for this freedom comes from sacrifices made. So we celebrate our veterans. On the 11th of November, we thank you for your courage and a pledge to always remember.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, veterans! The veterans who are here with us today and the families of the veterans, we thank you and we will not forget the sacrifices that you have made for each of us. This Veterans Day, we salute to each and every one of you, the noble and the brave, the ones still with us today, and those who have come before us. So here's our country's heroes. There's a cut above the rest. Let's give the honor that is due to our country's very best. We'd like all veterans here today to please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you for your service.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, finding high
1919. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice went into effect at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In November 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. If the idealistic hope had been realized that World War I was the war to end all wars, November 11th might still be called Armistice Day. But in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower changed the name to Veterans Day so that we may honor all veterans.
Throughout this nation's history, America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, marines, and coast guard have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom, to aid our friends and allies, and to turn back the clock.
We can never fully repay our debt of the gratitude to the American service members who died in the battle or were wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the veterans still living today.
Hi BridgePoint, Mrs. Kaznecki here. I am super lucky that I got to interview my baby brother. I am 4 years older than him. His name is Patrick Geary. And the third graders and I put together some questions to ask him. And I'm really excited to share my interview with him. Happy Veterans Day. BridgePoint Elementary. What's your name?
My name is Patrick Geary. I am a Sergeant First Class in the Army.
So Army is your branch of military then?
Correct.
Okay, how long have you been in the Army?
I have been in the Army for 16 years now.
So what do you do in your job for the Army as a first class sergeant?
A Sergeant First Class, I am a platoon sergeant for a infantry company.
Do you also have a family?
Yes, I am married with 4 children. My kids are 15, 11, 9, and 6.
Have you ever been deployed?
I have been deployed.
Have you been in a war?
Yes. I was in the Global War on Terror.
Okay. So you've been to parts of the world that most of us have never seen. How are we similar to the people that you've met around the world?
It's in the job description. Everywhere you go, people have the same needs. And there's actually, some specialist wizard on the subject figured out that everybody has, needs of, food, water, clothing, shelter, religious practice. Like there's a set,
So basic needs.
Basic needs that every human has. And then, despite, all the languages are different, all the cultures are different, foods are different, but everybody eats. Everybody needs water. Everybody has a family. The family structure is different in different parts of the world.
What has being deployed and sent to other parts of the world for the Army made you appreciate about living in the United States?
We have a very reliable infrastructure. We have electricity, unless a hurricane hits or, the power goes out or rolling blackouts that we know about ahead of time. We have electricity. Gas is affordable. We have plumbing, and you never really think about not having hot water. What would we do if we didn't have hot water today? There's things like that where it's like you didn't, but you don't really understand, and you can very easily take for granted until you've been to these other parts of the world that just don't have those capabilities yet.
So you've been to those parts of the world. So you also, when you were there, didn't have running water and heat and plumbing and all of that. So you had to deal with that, but also the people who live in those countries deal with that on every day.
Yes. So when I was in Afghanistan, I was in the mountains, outpost, and we would, once every week, we would have a truck come in with, 1,500 gallons, 15,000 gallons, however big it was, of water. And that was our water for everybody on that outpost. But we're in the mountains, and it's December, and all that running water, we had no way to heat it. So we're taking cold showers. It is 34 degrees.
So when you're overseas and you're stationed in different parts of the world, how do you stay in touch with your family?
When I first joined, it was like, I'm going to find a payphone, or 200 people are going to share this payphone, and you have to memorize all the numbers that you want to call. And then when I deployed to Afghanistan, it was, okay, we have internet, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. If it's up, that's your chance to Skype or video call with your family. Now, so the next deployment I'll go on will have a Starlink.
Nice.
And we'll be able to connect that, and then we'll be able to call.
So, from personal experience, I wrote you lots of letters, but didn't always get one in return because it's not easy to write back. But you still got all of my letters.
I still have all of your letters.
Oh, see?
Actually, I have shoe boxes of letters that I received, in basic training, unemployments, things like that. The books that I would receive, I would read, and then I would donate to the library, essentially, that was
almost like a book drop,
just nearby. Yeah, so it's like, it was like at this outpost, if I'm there for 10 months, I'm being replaced by someone else that's going to be there for another 10 months, and they get replaced. So over the months and years, that collection of books grows. So now people that are showing up have a significant amount of books to choose from that they don't need to ask anybody to send to them because other families already have.
Do you like to get fan mail?
I won't ask for it, but if it is sent, I do appreciate it.
What's your favorite?
What's my favorite? Oh man, the beef stroganoff, chicken cordon bleu, breakfast. Breakfast is my all-time favorite. and it's consistent. Army breakfast is good. Scrambled eggs or powdered eggs, and they're hit or miss. Sometimes you'll get like a brick of just cooked powdered eggs. It's awful. But the French toast is always good. And then they usually have like fresh fruits, grapes and strawberries, oatmeal. So you can make like a bowl. They'll always have yogurt. That's the only time of the day that you can get chocolate milk. So
How
get
do
some
you
calories in for breakfast.
how do you relax and have fun? Do you play any sports?
Throughout my career, or
Like in the military, what are the fun things that you can do?
any fun stuff that you could do as a civilian, you could do as in the Army. Specifically for my job,
Say the most memorable thing or like a funny story you can share with us.
there's one time when I was stationed in Alaska, and we're going on a morning run. So every morning at 6:30 we get together, we do physical training. And this day we're just on a 3-mile run. We're running a mile and a half out, a mile and a half back. It'll take, 25 minutes, a half hour, somewhere in there. And we hit the turnaround point, we're coming back, and there's always, every squad has the one guy that's just not as fast as everybody else. And he starts falling back, but it's a straight shot back. We know where we're going. So we're like, all right, man, we'll see you when we get back there. We're running, and we're about 3/4 of a mile away from where we're finishing. And the guy that's been falling back, just screams past everybody. Just, and we're like, a little early to be sprinting it in. And he's like, run! So we like look behind, and there's a black bear chasing him. So we all take off, because the saying is, you don't have to outrun the bear, you have to outrun your slowest friend. And that was probably one of the fastest miles I've ever run. And this black bear was just, curious. He saw some people running. Oh, what's going on here? Just started shuffling after us, but it's too big to be playing with that.
Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't mess with that either. So I know you've made some really great friendships being in the Army. Can you share with us any of the cool places you've gotten to live?
I lived in North Carolina. I lived in Alaska. Lived in California. In California, I was in the high desert. So there's a lot of nice places in California. I was in the, Death Valley, California. And then I lived in Germany. We lived in Missouri. And then we lived now in upstate New York.
And then when you're overseas, your family stays in those locations that you've been moved to.
Correct.
So your family and your kids move to all those new places with you.
Yep.
So they have to make new friends and go to new schools and do all of those things every time you move.
Every time. It's not very easy. It's not easy at all, especially having you make friends every 2-3 years, and then you pick up and move. You got to start all over again. And now I got a different teacher. I don't know what this teacher likes. It's not easy. Not easy for sure.
Well, I just want to thank you for your time, and thank you and your family for all your hard work and for your service. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you for your support.
Love you.
Happy Veterans Day. Appreciate it.
you to all America's veterans, to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and honor them for their sacrifices. The price of freedom is high, and that is why we cannot afford to forget those willing to pay it. Today, we celebrate America's veterans for keeping this nation the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Always
and teachers and music teachers a round of applause.